Hi, Brian. Thank you for your time today. You guys had six penalties today. Just how much did that maybe stunt you guys overall? And was there a reason you thought you put the penalties today? I mean, discipline or bad positioning, or sometimes Mike Sullivan will say their penalties exuberance. Just what was the reason for all the penalties today?
Yeah, we took too many minors tonight, and I think some of them were definitely at ill times. I mean, um, when we had some momentum, and obviously when they get a power play, we had some good kills early, but they gained a little momentum off that, and they started shutting down some of the guys on our bench. So I mean, we have to do a better job, and we see we have more success when we stay at the box. So that's one thing that we got to focus on definitely for Game 5.
Rob Rossi.
Brian, what grade would you give you guys as a team in terms of doing what you wanted to do out there early when this game was still within reach?
I mean, they pushed hard early in the first, and we had some good pushback there. I think we had 4 or 5 shifts where we were hemming them in, and we were creating some momentum off that. I thought in the first it was a pretty even game. And obviously they scored a couple goals, and we had to come back in this game, and we didn't get the timely bounces or goals that we needed to come back in this. They gained some momentum, definitely from those power play goals, and it was hard for us to catch up. But we just got to learn from it and focus on Game 5 now.
Anna Horner.
Brian, you mentioned focusing on Game 5. Just what do you take from this game moving forward? I asked Sid the same thing, and he said, you need a little more urgency. How do you create that headed into Game 5 when you guys go back to Pittsburgh?
Yeah, I think I mean it starts right at the drop. I think we all got to be ready. We know they're coming with pressure. We know their game plan. They know ours. Um, like Sid said, we got to have more urgency in the battles in every aspect of the game. We got to keep pushing back if things don't go our way. We have to be a little bit more disciplined, and um, we know if we do get penalties, we have to kill them, and we have to try to get some momentum off that. Those are different makers in the game, and we know, especially being in our home crowd, if we get those kills, that they'll give us some momentum being behind us. So we got to try to feed off our energy and create shift after shift.
Couple more, Matt Venzel.
Hey Brian, it seems like the last two games the Islanders have really tried to get to Tristan in terms of just getting bodies around him, maybe making him a little uncomfortable, bumping him. Have you seen the same thing? And if so, what can you guys do to kind of combat that so he has a little bit more room to operate?
Yeah, well, I mean, we know their game plan. They go low to high, and they put pucks on net. So obviously, if we can box them out early and try to stop the traffic from getting there, we've been fronting a lot, and I think if we can establish some box outs, especially out of the corner, that can help us. But I mean, we have to fight for the net front just as much as they do, um, and we have to keep grinding. I mean, SSD, we have to put more pucks there, and regardless if we have a player or not, I think we got to try to shoot a little bit more from the point.
Last question, Dave Molinari.
Thank you for speaking with us, Brian. Regarding that urgency, were you surprised at all that you guys didn't have more of it today? And when did you first realize that that was the case?
I think we had it. I mean, especially early on, we saw in that first. I think we need more urgency after they score. I think those next shifts are huge. I mean, if they score and we establish those own time and we start putting them on their heels, then we start tipping the momentum in our favor. And obviously, playoffs, a lot of it's momentum, and it can get carried away either way. So I think shift after goals, shift after our goals. I think those are critical times, especially last minute of the period. Those are critical points in the game where I think we need to realize that and have more awareness and get pucks deep and just create some ozone changes and try to hem them in and some momentum back on our side.